You're looking to cut through the noise, yeah, and really grasp the core of something important quickly and thoroughly.
Hmm.
That's exactly what we're aiming for today. We're doing a deep dive into Pascha.
Right, Pascha. Or, as many know it, Easter,
Hmm.
but specifically within the Orthodox Christian tradition.
Exactly. And, it's got quite the reputation. They call it the Feast of Feasts and the Triumph of Triumphs.
High praise indeed. It sets the bar pretty high.
It really does. So, our mission here is to unpack why. Why does it hold such profound significance?
And we're drawing from some interesting material today, right?
We are. We're looking at insights from the Feast of Feasts, celebrating Pascha, the glorious resurrection of Christ, which comes from the Orthodox Christian Tool Store blog.
Okay, sounds good. So, where do we start? The heart of it, I suppose.
Let's do it. Let's get right to the absolute center of Pascha.
Well, fundamentally, Pascha revolves around one event, the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Okay.
And it's crucial to understand this isn't just remembering something that happened ages ago.
Not just a history lesson.
Not at all. It's presented as the bedrock, the absolute foundation for Christian faith, for hope, and ultimately for the promise of eternal life.
And the source material, the blog post, it walks us through the sequence of events.
It does. It starts after the crucifixion on Holy Friday, a time of intense sorrow for Jesus' followers, obviously.
Right.
Then you have Joseph of Arimathea and Nicodemus.
Mm-hmm.
They step forward, take Jesus' body, prepare it, with care, and lay it in a new tomb.
Acts of real devotion described in the Gospels.
Exactly. Luke and John detail it. And this act, it sort of sets the stage for what comes next, which is just extraordinary.
And it wasn't like they just placed him there and left, was it? The blog post mentions specific actions taken by the authority.
Yes, that's a key point. The chief priests were worried. They were concerned about, well, potential deception, maybe the disciples stealing the body.
So they took precautions, serious ones.
Very serious. They went to Pilate, got a Roman guard assigned, and physically sealed the stone covering the tomb's entrance.
You can almost picture it, this heavy stone, the seal, the soldiers, an attempt to make it absolutely final, impenetrable.
Completely. A barrier against anything unexpected, or so they thought.
But of course, that wasn't the end. Things take a dramatic turn pretty quickly, don't they? On the morning of the first day of the week.
Indeed. That's when everything changes. As Luke's gospel tells us, the women, Mary Magdalene and others, they arrive at the tomb just as dawn is breaking.
Bringing spices and ointments, right, but to properly anoint the body.
That was their intention, but what they found, well, Matthew's account adds another layer, describes an earthquake.
An earthquake, wow.
Yeah, and an angel descending from heaven, rolling away that massive stone, and then sitting on it. It's a scene of immense divine power.
And the angel has a message, the crucial message.
Absolutely pivotal.
Yeah.
The angel tells the terrified women, basically, don't be afraid. He is not here, for he has risen, just as he said.
He has risen. That changes everything.
Instantly, the entire narrative shifts on that one proclamation.
And Mary Magdalene. The blog highlights her role, doesn't it? She's right there among the first witnesses.
Yes, she's a key figure. Imagine the mix of shock, maybe fear, but also something else. The text says she immediately ran to tell the apostles.
You can feel the urgency. But the disciples, their reaction wasn't immediate belief, was it? The source mentions some initial confusion.
That's right. John's gospel in particular paints a picture of initial, confusion and even fear. Peter and John run to the tomb themselves.
You see with their own eyes.
Exactly. And seeing the empty tomb, the linen wrappings lying there, that starts to shift things. Belief begins to dawn, though maybe not fully formed yet.
It takes more than just an empty tomb, then.
It seems so. And then you get that incredibly personal moment, also in John's gospel, where Jesus appears to Mary Magdalene near the tomb.
Ah, right, when she initially mistakes him for the gardener.
Yes, until he speaks her name, just Mary. And in that instant, she recognized him. It's such a powerful, intimate moment of revelation.
That personal encounter seems key. So it wasn't just the absence of the body, but these direct appearances.
Precisely. The blog post really emphasizes how these appearances to the disciples, not just Mary, but others too over the following days, were crucial. They solidified their faith.
It moved them from fear and confusion to conviction.
Yes, and it prepared them for what was coming next, spreading this message, this unbelievable news. Even in the face of opposition, it wasn't just a miracle for them. It was a catalyst through them.
Okay, so that's the event itself. Let's talk about the significance, the impact the blog discusses.
Right. The resurrection isn't presented as just an event, but as the culminating event in God's entire plan for redemption.
The climax of the story, so to speak.
In a way, yes. The source material draws this really interesting parallel with Adam,
Okay.
where Adam's disobedience, brought sin and death into the world. Christ, through his perfect obedience culminating in the cross and resurrection, is seen as the new Adam.
The one who undoes the damage.
Exactly. He conquers death itself, the very thing Adam's sin introduced. It's a core concept in Christian theology, and Pascha celebrates that victory.
And the implications of that victory are huge, aren't they? The blog quotes St. Paul.
It does from 1 Corinthians. And Paul is very direct, very blunt about it.
What does he say again?
He basically says, if Christ has not been raised, then our preaching is in vain and your faith is in vain. Full stop.
Wow. No ambiguity there.
None. He follows it up immediately. But Christ has indeed been raised from the dead. It underscores that the resurrection isn't like an optional extra belief. It's fundamental. The whole thing rests on it.
So Pascha isn't just looking back at that historical moment.
No, the blog emphasizes it's experienced as a present reality. It's a living celebration of eternal life happening now.
Not just history, but ongoing power.
That's the idea. It's about the transformative power unleashed by the resurrection, a power that continues to work today.
And the blog post lists some pretty staggering outcomes of this transformation.
It does. Things like death itself being destroyed, sin being overcome, paradise lost through Adam being restored, believers becoming children of God.
These are massive claims. It's like a complete reset of, well, everything. Humanity's relationship with God, with death itself.
They are foundational claims, absolutely. They represent the profound, far-reaching consequences celebrated at Pascha.
Is there anything in the source, like a hymn or prayer, that captures this sense of victory?
Yes, it mentions the Kontakion of the feast, a specific hymn for Pascha. It captures that triumph beautifully.
Can you share a bit of it?
Sure. It goes something like, Thou didst descend into the tomb, O immortal. Thou didst destroy the power of death. In victory didst thou arise, O Christ God. It's his powerful, poetic declaration of Christ conquering death by entering its domain.
Destroy the power of death. That's potent. Okay, so shifting gears slightly, how does this immense event translate into the actual life and worship of the Orthodox Church? The blog calls Pascha the very heart of the Christian life.
That's a strong statement, and it really reflects the reality. For the Orthodox, Pascha isn't just the most important feast day of the year, it is the feast. Everything else kind of flows towards it and from it.
So it's not just an annual thing.
Well, the annual celebration is the absolute peak, but the source explains the resurrection is proclaimed constantly. It's there in every divine liturgy, the main worship service. It echoes in the hymns sung throughout the year.
How so?
Even the sign of the cross itself is seen as a reminder of the death and resurrection. The victory is woven into the very fabric of daily and liturgical life. It's inescapable, in a way. Christ is risen. That's the constant undercurrent.
The blog also uses this incredible imagery, describing Pascha as a time when heaven and earth join together.
Yes, that's a beautiful description. It talks about angels and mortals, the living and even the departed, all united in this single chorus of praise.
Wow. That paints a picture of something much bigger than just an earthly celebration.
It really speaks to the cosmic scale of the event. The resurrection isn't just about humanity. It bridges the gap, reunites the created order with the divine. It's seen as breaking down barriers.
And it also mentions Pascha being a foretaste of the life to come.
A glimpse, an experience here and now of the eternal joy and life that the resurrection promises for the future. It's not just remembering the past or hoping for the future, but tasting that future reality in the present.
There's also an invitation quoted, isn't there? A call to participate.
Yes, a direct invitation. Come, all you faithful. Let us venerate Christ's holy resurrection. It's not passive. It's a call to actively engage, to bow down before this reality.
And it continues, for by enduring the cross for us, he has destroyed death by death. That phrase again.
Destroyed death by death. It's central. It highlights the paradox that through submitting to death, Christ overcame it.
And is there one particular hymn that really distills the essence of Pascha?
Absolutely. The Paschal Troparion. It's sung over and over again during the Paschal season. It's the anthem of the feast.
What are the words?
They are simple, incredibly profound. Christ is risen from the dead, trampling down death by death, and upon those in the tombs bestowing life.
Trampling down death by death. Powerful. And bestowing life even to those already departed.
Yes, that's part of the understanding the effects ripple out, even to those who died before Christ's resurrection.
So, pulling all this together from our deep dive into the blog post,
Yeah.
it seems the resurrection isn't just one belief among many in Orthodoxy.
Not at all. It's the belief, the absolute center. The source makes it clear it's the fundamental truth that changes everything. It's proclaimed as the greatest news possible.
The ultimate good news.
Exactly. It's presented as the source of freedom, freedom from fear, particularly the fear of sin and the ultimate fear of death. It's about the promise of being made new.
And the blog concludes by pointing us towards what?
Towards contemplation of the joy and the sheer light that radiates from that empty tomb. It's an image meant to inspire hope and transformation.
A really powerful image to hold on to. So, as our source material powerfully declares, let's maybe leave our listeners with that thought, that reality. Christ is risen.
Indeed, he is risen.